welcome to the Late Night Snacking Podcast.
We're your hosts, Devin and Eneida, and this is our weekly podcast where we grab a blanket and some snacks and talk about all things relationships, growing pains, and navigating through, honestly, life itself.
We hope our experiences encourage others to grow to become the best versions of themselves, and for their relationships. Grab a snack and let's go! What is up, snackers?
What's going on?
Woo!
How is everyone?
Welcome back to the pod.
And welcome back to the Late Night Snacking Podcast.
The what?
The most honest podcast, the most open podcast, and the most wholesome podcast in the world.
Woo! Welcome back to the pod, y'all. Welcome back for another Wednesday of quality content and conversation.
Nice of you to join us.
Hope y'all enjoyed last week's episode. We talked about expectations. We got some good feedback. And that's just good conversation to have overall. We also dropped an episode with our friend Charlie on the Right State of Mind pod. So if you still have not tapped into that, yeah, go tap in. We also dropped our very first dinner chat. So technically, not technically, it did already come out. So hopefully y'all have tuned into that. Me and Devin pretty much just took a little stroll down memory lane and talked about what we felt like our first impressions were of each other. Yeah, so
they're pretty spot on for the most part.
Yeah, it was really fun just to like kind of relive that night, and like there were things that I didn't know that he thought and things he didn't know I thought and stuff like that. So it was just like, it was cool to do that. And we also dropped a little montage on like what we made for dinner that night. So it's just it's a good video. So tap in, because y'all did request kind of like more personal content and get to know his content. So that is definitely the space where we're doing that.
Very personal stuff. So.
So hopefully y'all enjoyed that. Again, like we said, if you haven't tapped in, make sure you do that. So how are you? What's going on?
Well, we're enjoying some vanilla ice cream here.
Oh, you just popped right into snack? Okay.
Yeah, just a little.
Cool.
Can't let it melt, so I can't let it sit too long. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, that's funny that you say that. So I guess I'll say my snack too, because my snack is also ice cream. It's a leftover peanut butter and banana milkshake from Cookout.
Hey, shout out to Cookout.
Shout out to Cookout.
Your favorite, you know what I'm saying, reliant, convenient fast food restaurant.
You're hungry. Yeah.
I
was just about to say that.
Shout out to Cookout, man.
You're hungry at 3 a.m.
It was Waffle House. And Waffle House is still, you know, it still can be the spot, but Cookout. Hey.
For sure. Just because I don't know what sound it's going to sound like, can you back the mic up like just a hair from you? Okay, yeah. Cool. Well, the only reason why I was asking you how are you is because it's been like 4 days since I've seen you. So kind of catching up. We're catching up with y'all, but we're also catching up with each other.
Yeah, been kind of.
We spent the whole weekend I was on Hendrix duty, so that was fun. And if you haven't seen on my IG story, I also picked up my ceremony wedding dress.
Oh yeah, the wedding dress.
So I
can't see it.
You can't see, but it's in the house.
It's in the house though.
So just
I don't agree with that for some reason. I feel like it should be somewhere else.
Just don't be nosy. That's all. I'm just saying. So, yes, had a good weekend, and now we're here. Anything you want to share from your weekend?
Let's see. Oh, me and the Jason Wade just did a live performance, just something real small of P. Miller, our song P. Miller. It's, you know, with myself and Jason Wade.
It's really good, y'all. It's really good.
Off our latest project, Saga of Lost Kin, on all streaming platforms. So if you haven't already, go check that out. It's a fun tape. It was really fun to make. It's me and Jason's first project together, collaborative. So
awesome.
Go check that out. Give us a spin.
Give us a spin.
But so far, P. Miller is the favorite.
It's really good. I don't know how to describe it.
Shout out to Percy Miller. He had a hell of a career.
I will say though, out of all the projects you've done, that really is like a top one for me. Y'all's voices really mesh well together on a track, but that one just really.
Yeah, P. Miller.
I don't know. Like the vibe is good, the pen is good. Like it's just
lit.
It's good. I don't know if we can talk it up enough. Y'all just go see for yourselves.
Yeah. So the live performance is on IG. So Jason posted it, so it's on Jason's page. Jason Wade. Check that out.
Check them out. Cool. Anything else we want to share before we start moving and grooving?
No, I think that's it on my end.
Okay. Last thing, shout out to my bridal party. They are, excuse my language, the shit. They all drove up to Greenville. Well, Alicia lives there, but all drove up to Greenville literally just to watch me try on my dress for 30 minutes. Like that's a
Real
strong
dedication.
group. Yeah, that's a strong group I have.
Shout out to the game.
So shout out to them. Just wanted to give them a quick shout out. But okay, so tonight's episode is a little different. I posted on the story that we weren't going to do an unpack the snack and stuff like that, and make sure you tune in to like kind of see what we're doing. So we're going in a little bit of a different direction today. It's still obviously a podcast, but we are doing an interview, and we'll switch it. But tonight it's me interviewing Devin. So we'll just call it the Devin Wansley interview, and we'll go from there. And then when we switch, it'll be the Eneida Rivera interview. So got this idea. There was a couple husband and wife that did this on their YouTube channel, and I just thought it was a really cute idea. One, it lets the audience kind of like know each co-host a little bit better on more than a surface level. Two, it helps the co-host know the other co-host a little bit better, and just gives them an opportunity to kind of like ask questions that they want to ask. So both of our interviews will be different from each other. We won't ask each other the same questions. Like, these are purely curated from my head. Just stuff that either I feel like they might want to know about you, or like I've been wanting to ask or whatever. So it'll be good. So I didn't want to do an unpack the snack because I want to give him the whole time. I don't want to rush him with answers and stuff like that. So wanted to give you the whole platform for the hour that we're doing this, or a little bit less, to answer your questions. So don't feel like you have to rush or anything like that. These
must be some very in-depth questions. I'm excited.
I mean, it's not like, we're not unpacking trauma or anything. It's just like...
Oh, man.
You came to the wrong place, okay? But, yeah, it's just stuff that, I want you to feel like you can elaborate on, and you don't have to, cut your answer short or anything. So, okay. So I guess we'll start. Let's get into lay topic, a.k.a. lay interview. So...
Lay interview.
So, state your name, please.
Hello, all. My name is Devin Wansley.
Great. I'm here with Devin Wansley. We are going to do a little interview.
A little interview.
Ready?
Okay.
All right. So, first question.
Okay.
How you doing?
I'm well. My stomach is full because we had dinner, and I had some ice cream just now, so I'm pretty content right now.
Pretty good?
I ain't gonna lie.
Okay, a little bit of a broader scale of how are you doing. Do you like where your life is right now?
Do I like where my life is now? Do I like it? Sure. It's cool. Am I content with it? No. I wouldn't say that I'm content with it all, but considering that I'm in a way better space than I was, 5, 6, 7, 10 years ago, I'm all right. It's all right for now, but I don't think I'm content with it though.
What would you say you're not content with?
Probably time and finances. I think those are just two things that I don't have freely right now or anymore. So mainly, yeah, just mainly like finances and time. Like I just wish I could put time into like things that I'm interested in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or spend more time doing like the hobbies. Like I haven't painted in a long time.
I
Like,
know.
just like little stuff like that, just because of like current situations and stuff. But
Yeah.
time and finances, because who wouldn't want like more money? You know what I mean?
I know.
Like that practically, I'm not gonna say it controls your life, but it definitely supplies you with a lot of options that you wouldn't have if you didn't have it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
and I think a lot of people run into like whatever's taking up most of your time isn't sufficiently giving you the money that you really want.
mm-hmm.
So like it almost feels like a waste of time.
Yeah, bro.
Because
like
somebody else is dictating your time and also dictating your finances, but it's just not enough for like the lifestyle that you're wanting to live.
It's really not like
yeah.
Just the idea, and I get it. Like it's just where just I guess the way life is. Like everybody does it, and I get that part. But like, just the idea of going and working, you know, for somebody for 60 years, or until you're 30 years or whatever, 25 years, like that, like before you really get to like enjoy, I guess, like retirement, or actually get to like hang out and chill. Like I don't know. That's just kind of crazy to me.
Yeah.
That's wild. Like and like I said, I get it because everybody does it. Like you work, like our parents work, I work. Like I get it, but it's like, bro, like who came up with this? Like this is not well thought out.
It just sucks.
It does. Like
yeah.
It really does. Just I don't know. Just the whole ideology of it. It's wild. And I guess, yeah, you could like go and get a profession in something that you enjoy doing, but like it's still like work.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, there's no separation of the two.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know. I have a lot of faith and confidence in us that we could take something like this, or like even just building a platform of our own. Like I really feel like we can monetize off of that at some point. Obviously it's gonna take work, but I mean,
right,
I don't know.
That's something that
I just don't I just don't see me and you doing like corporate world for like years and years and years and years. I don't know.
Yeah, because the corporate world's a nasty place. It's disgusting.
I don't see us ending up in that type of scenario, but cross fingers. We'll see.
Got time. We'll see.
We'll see where life takes us. What are you excited about nowadays?
What am I excited about?
Mm-hmm. Or like, what are you looking forward to nowadays?
Right now, getting married.
Same.
Like, I can kind of see like time winding down like before my eyes, so I know time's getting near. So honestly, that and the podcast, of course, like all of our creative outlets. I think this year is going to be fun. The podcast, of course, and then like with music.
Mm-hmm.
I think this year is going to be probably the most fun with that.
Speaking of music, do you plan on having like more projects come out and stuff, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's something that I always will do for a while.
Oh, sorry, I didn't clarify. Like before the end of the year, like you'll have more.
Yeah.
Okay.
I still have me and Trizzle still got a tape and an album to do.
That's fun.
Me and D Aiken are dropping a mixtape as well. Like I'm gonna be dropping a solo EP narrated by no other than Greg Johnson.
Oh,
if y'all don't know Greg Johnson.
God! Wait a minute.
You're gonna find out. Yeah, that's
what.
I think that's honestly what's next.
You did not tell me this.
Yeah, that's
gonna be fun.
And it's gonna be a second part to Lemons and Ice Water.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so it's kind of like a part 2 of that. It'll be under a different name, but content-wise, like pretty much the same.
Very similar, yeah.
Very similar. So
cool.
Yeah, so I got a lot ahead of me in the music department.
That's fun.
I'm excited.
Good. What worries you or stresses you out?
What worries me or stresses me out? What doesn't worry me or stress me out? Let's start there. Like, what doesn't? Bro?
I should have started with that before saying
life stresses me out. Nah.
Relax.
I mean, kind of like everything else, just the unknowing.
Yeah.
You know, it's always that thought of like, what's life gonna look like for us? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
3 years from now, 4 years from now, just I don't know. It doesn't stress me out, but that's something that I don't think I can't like stop worrying about or stop thinking about. Us having children. That's another thing. It doesn't necessarily stress me out, but I can't help to think about it. You know what I mean? So turning 30 is stressing me out.
Really?
Yeah, man. Like,
why?
It's getting easier now. Like, it's getting easier with time because it's just like it's inevitable. Like, I'm gonna turn 30. Like,
yeah.
I can't like slow down time or like not turn 30. So
So
I don't know. It's just something like I don't know. 30 is just kind of creepy.
Really?
Yeah.
What about turning into like a new decade worries you, or like why does that scare you a little bit?
And it's not like a scary, like a fear thing. It's just, once again, like the unknowing, like which a lot of people really don't tell the difference in like birthdays and stuff on like events that may take place or how it'll make you feel or whatever about turning a certain age. Like, I don't know. With 30, I think it'll be me stepping into, I guess, a more controlled like atmosphere, like a more controlled self. You know what I mean? Like, probably not as lenient about a lot of stuff, personal things.
Okay.
Just probably more like straightforward. And I'm not saying like I don't want it to look like, oh well, it's a front. Like, this is just pretty much a front that I'm gonna put up when I turn 30. But no, it's just because I can see myself slowly transitioning into that like now.
Yeah.
So.
I'm just maturing.
Yeah, it's a maturing thing.
Yeah.
Like, just to probably lock my head around more important things.
Yeah.
You know? So I don't want to let the hobbies and all the things that bring me joy fade away though. But I can't help but to feel like that I don't know, just some things are just gonna kind of like die to me, and it's just not gonna have that same like effect on me as it did before 30. And that may sound silly. That may not even make sense to a lot of people, but I don't know. Maybe I'm just not describing it right, but
no,
I don't know.
I think that makes a lot of sense. I think too, like what's coming with 30 is obviously by the time you turn 30, we'll be married. Obviously our timeline for kiddos is coming up, and do not get excited, listener.
Get
everybody
excited.
Calm down.
It's go time.
But it's go time. But no, I was listening to a podcast this morning, and it was a wife wrote in, and she was basically saying that she wanted a third child, and the husband was like kind of on the fence about it. And the podcaster was just like, well, I mean, if you can afford it and like you're the woman, so obviously you're carrying the baby, like you do have a little bit more say. Like if you really want one, like I think y'all should talk about having one. But he was like, just be aware that like with more responsibility obviously comes like less time to do like your hobbies and stuff like that. So he was like, if you are okay with like sacrificing other things, then of course like have another one, because you're okay with maybe giving up something else. Because he was like, I'm in the same predicament. Like I have two, and if we have a third, I'm aware that there are some things that I'm going to have to like put aside for a little bit, because it's like having 3 kids is just obviously going to take up more of my time. That's wild. Yeah. So I think it's the same thing with you. I don't think it'll necessarily fade away, but it might naturally do that just because new things are coming in, and it's giving you less time to do these other things on the side, which is not bad. I mean, it's good new stuff coming in, but I think it is important to like make time for those hobbies and things. But I think you'll be fine. But speaking of,
it's new. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, when you've been like 20 for not like 10 years, bro, it's like, I don't know how to feel about this. Like 30, ew. Like,
I feel like you're not gonna feel that way about 40 though. I feel like
probably not.
I feel like turning 20 is like, oh my God, I'm not a teen anymore.
Yeah.
Turning 30 is like, oh shit, like I'm like actually an adult. And then I feel like 40 is just like, you just keep getting older. Like you don't
after 40, it's just kind of like, yeah.
Nobody gives a shit anymore.
Here we are.
Yeah.
But disclaimer, I don't think that 30 is old, so I don't really consider myself old because I don't look 30, which is crazy. But I don't look it. People tell me, well, probably now because I got, all this facial hair. But
yeah,
I don't think I look 30 like anyway.
I don't think you do either.
So
you look good.
Ain't nothing but a number. We ain't gonna sweat that though.
Facts. Speaking about hobbies, what would you say your passion is?
My passion. Crazy thing is that shouldn't be a hard question, and it's not. But it's just like a list of things that I just really enjoy doing, and a lot of things that just bring me joy, honestly.
Okay, so name like 3 things that you would say are like your top 3 passions.
Traveling.
Wow, did not think that was gonna be.
Yeah, traveling for sure.
Okay.
Like sports, basketball, soccer, skateboarding. Like I don't think I'll ever get tired of doing that stuff. Like no matter how old I get.
Yeah.
Like of those 3 things, I think that's something that I don't know. I'd probably be able to do for a while. And music, honestly, or just creating. Period.
Yeah.
Whether it's designing clothes, or painting, doing art and stuff, or music curation and stuff like that. I don't know. That stuff is interesting to me. So.
Okay.
Obviously, those 3 things.
Love it. Alrighty. Tell me about little Devin. When did you get into your hobbies? What was school like for you? Walk me through little Devin's life. Just like a little short summary. Like when did you get into when did you get into like soccer and like basketball?
All that stuff. So yeah. I grew up playing. So the first sport I ever played was baseball. I did baseball like 3 years, and it was fun. I was pretty good, like believe it or not. Like I don't know why I stopped. I don't know. I guess I fell more in love with basketball and just the game of it. So I end up. So I played baseball at first, and then I played basketball. But it was a point where I was playing both sports for like a few years. So after those, like I played baseball 3 years, and I was playing basketball 3 years, and then like that went to like year 4, and I played in middle school, played in high school, did some AAU for like a year or whatever. Like, so yeah, I didn't pick up soccer until high school.
Okay, so that came way later on.
Yeah, that came like late.
How did you know you were even like good at that if you hadn't played before?
Listen,
just a natural talent, huh?
Honestly,
must be freaking nice.
And the only thing was
can't relate.
No athletic abilities
at all.
Nah, this was 2010, the 2010 World Cup. I spent that entire summer watching the World Cup. That summer, mind you, I was like just kind of getting into soccer. Like I kept hearing all about like this World Cup stuff, and I was like, I really want to see what the hype is about, like, and what this whole thing is about. So ended up spending the entire summer watching it, and then just
so you like really got into it?
Yeah, I just kind of fell in love with it, like just watching it, and then this was my 10th grade year, so a sophomore year, going into my 11th grade year. So this is going into my junior year of high school. And so I was just like, man, when school start back, man, I'm gonna try out. Like, so that summer, like while I was watching the World Cup and stuff, I like would knock the ball around and stuff like that, and just kind of get familiar with like the sport.
Yeah. And
then my junior year, like after basketball season, like I ended up trying out, and I made the team.
That's nuts.
Yeah, like it was crazy. Like I ended up making it, and then was just like, maybe I'm not bad at this after all. Like for me to just be starting like 6 months to a year ago, like
that's not bad.
And then just developing the relationships that I made with the guys that I was on the team with.
Yeah.
Led till now,
Yeah.
Like Thomas and all those guys, Giovanni, like
right.
Ramon's, people that I've, met through the sport. And then it went from me just, playing like at school and practice stuff to me playing like on the weekends with like some of the gang and stuff. We would go to the Civic Center in Anderson. Shout out to the Civic Center. We'll go like I don't know. They had me playing in like Hispanic leagues on Sunday and stuff, and on Saturday. And after that, like I think it just pretty much sealed the deal that like, bro, like this is something that I really like doing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So after that, I ended up playing again not my sophomore year, but my senior year, and made team captain that year.
Oh
my senior God. Year, yeah. That was nuts.
What?
That was cool. Like, and we were bad. I ain't gonna lie.
The team?
Yeah, we were bad.
But you weren't.
No, like, this is a team. It's a team effort. Like, I was bad too. Like, I wasn't terrible.
Good
but
for
like,
you for taking
I put it this way. I could play my position well.
Okay.
I played center back, a little bit of right back, left back, a little bit. So,
okay.
I mean, I held my spot down, but as a collective, as a team, we were bad. We were just bad. So, but I don't know. Like, it was almost like it didn't matter to me, bro, because I loved playing soccer that much. Like, yeah, it sucked to lose, but like, you know what I mean? Like, I still enjoy doing it regardless.
Yeah.
End up getting like a little small scholarship to play at Tri-County. In Anderson, and then literally the semester I started like that August after high school just went out the window. Yeah, because of some very like it was stupid. It was ridiculous.
Yeah,
there's some very ridiculous things were happening. Like, and I won't get into that, but they end up losing like all their like sports accreditation. So like golf, girls basketball, like all that got wiped.
Oh wow!
Like that semester, so they literally had no more sports after that.
Dang.
We tried to. My coach at the time in high school was trying to pull some strings at Wofford, and we were looking into USC Beaufort. Never heard back from USC Beaufort, believe it or not.
Screw you, USC Beaufort.
And Wofford's coach was just pretty much like he could offer me a tryout or whatever, but couldn't promise me anything, and like the scholarship wouldn't cover majority of the cost it was to go to Wofford. And where I come from, like Wofford is expensive.
It is expensive. Like, yeah.
My parents didn't have that type of money to send me to Wofford.
Sure.
Not on a scholarship at that. So
yeah.
So that whole thing just kind of like diminished, and so I don't know. I just kept playing for fun after that. Like even now, like I played Friday, actually, in Nettles in Clemson.
Dope.
So, yeah.
What was school like for you? Did playing sports and stuff help you kind of like make friends, or did you like come in to school with a group? Like you went to school kind of with the same group of people.
Yep.
From like elementary up, right? Pretty much.
Yep. So, school was. I'm gonna be honest. Like I had anxiety, like really bad anxiety. Like it was just something about school, like that just stressed me out for some reason. Like and it wasn't like a thing of like I couldn't go to school, like I'm shaking because I'm in school. Like nah, it's just like when it came down to like making sure that I have like all the stuff I need for homework at the time.
Okay.
Like just making sure I have all my materials. Like, as a kid, you're very forgetful.
Yeah.
Like you forget a lot of things. Like, bro, I would forget stuff at school that I needed for homework.
Oh, same.
Hundreds of times, and would get like in so much trouble.
Same.
You know what I mean? So
Janet knows the story.
It was just stuff like I don't know. It was like stuff like that. Like I had a really bad like test anxiety. I still kind of do a little bit. Like I just don't do well with tests.
Yeah. But
like I clearly study for hours, days, or whatever, and just those nerves just won't come. They just don't. So,
okay.
I maintained though. Like I didn't really like require any special like attention in school for anything. Like I may do. I wasn't like early years, like elementary school and stuff, like I done really good in school, like honor roll, from kindergarten up till like what, 5th grade. Mm-hmm. And then like middle school came, and I don't know, I was going through phases like most teenagers do. You going into middle school, you're going through phases and stuff. Mm-hmm. I really wasn't too like pressed about middle school, just because like all the homies from the elementary school was gonna be there. So like Quentin and Ricky and John, like all these people that I have known for years on out. So
yeah,
just being there with them, it made it, it made it fun. It made it worth his while. The sports honestly was just like a bonus. But school was cool. And then of course transcended from middle school and went into high school with the same group of guys. Like at this point, like we just like, I don't know, like I came in like with a new swag. You know what I mean? Like I started really kind of like, I've always kind of had like my own style or whatever, but like going into like 9th grade, like that was the jerk phase too. Like, oh man, that jerk stage was crazy. I was definitely a jerk. I won't lie. Yeah, I was out here jerking for real.
I know you were. I wouldn't put it past you.
Yeah, we was out there for real. That skinny jean era was crazy.
Relax.
Yeah. So yeah.
Shifting gears.
But nah, like later on, like going into like my sophomore year, junior year, like I kind of figured out like what, like how who I was as a person, like my personality, like from there on, like up until I would say probably like 10th, 11th grade, like up until like graduation, like I pretty much knew like my personality and like just like my whole style or whatever. And so it transcended after that. So, I mean, yeah, school was cool. I mean, nothing too like crazy. Yeah. Just, I practically went through life with the same people.
Yeah. Don't elaborate too much on that, because I have a question about that a little bit later on. Okay. What was a life-changing moment for you?
A life-changing moment.
Mm-hmm. It could be good or bad. It doesn't have to be like a tragedy. Like something that
just... what stage of my life, or just in general throughout all these years?
I mean, we're kind of on little Devin, so if we... maybe like in school, I don't know. I mean, it could be now if you're thinking of something right now, but just something that like altered something in you.
Probably college, if I'm gonna be honest. College was life changing.
Yeah.
Especially once I like moved, like when I went to like Tri-County was pretty much local, so I was still at home. So I was just doing like Pendleton and Anderson campus. But after that, and I transferred over to Allen in Columbia. I think that was pretty much life changing because one, I've never been afraid to leave home. Like I ain't never really tripped about that, but that was my first time like actually being out and being, that far away from home, like and on my own.
Sure.
So like I feel like I managed it well. It was an adjustment for sure, but I always say that Columbia holds a special place in my heart because like Columbia turned me into a man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like having to pretty much figure like this out on my own. Of course, like I made friends in college. Like I can make friends anywhere. That's that's one of my like gifts. Like I can make friends anywhere, anytime.
Anywhere. If we're out in public for 15 minutes, Devin can come back with a friend.
Yeah, 100%. And that's just from like,
which is great.
Yeah, it's just dialogue, just like talking to people and getting to know people, and vice versa, not being weird to them.
I don't know.
You know,
because I surely am.
But yeah, I'd say college, because I think in college is when I really, well, Columbia specifically is when I kind of like grew into myself, if that makes sense.
It does.
Like I pretty much knew like what type of man I wanted to be. Like I kind of like character was already there. I mean, it's been sitting in ice cream, so it's not really doing good.
Sorry, go ahead.
But yeah, like you just really threw me off all of that. I'm sorry.
Sorry, my lid dropped on the floor, and then ice cream got on the floor, and then I didn't want the floor to be sticky, so I tried to pick it up, but I don't have a napkin. It just keeps going downhill from
An in-person demonstration of what ADHD looks like.
Sorry.
Jesus.
Sorry.
Where was I?
You're talking about Colombia.
Oh,
we were
yeah.
talking about how you can make a friend anywhere, which is a gift of yours because it totally is. And
Yeah.
I don't know. You just enjoy stuff like that. You love talking to people. I don't get it.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
that's
we
good
share
for
this
you.
planet with trillions of people. Like, why wouldn't you want to communicate with somebody you share a planet with?
I just don't feel like it.
Like, we're breathing the same air, bro. Like, but yeah, college was a turning point because like I already knew what type of man I wanted to be. Like, my character was already there.
Yeah.
So it just kind of enhanced that buried confidence, I guess. Because I'm a very humble guy, and I get told that a lot. Like, I don't pop enough shit. No, like my friends tell me that
That you don't pop enough shit.
Yeah, Greg told me that this morning. He was like, "Bro, you really that nigga, bro? Like, bro, you just too humble,
best
bro.
hype man over there.
You are too humble, bro. Like, you don't be popping enough shit. Like, bro, like, just look at you, bro. Like, look what you've accomplished. Look how far you came. Like, I don't know, bro. And maybe that comes from my pops, like, cause my dad is like that. Like, you'll never hear my dad brag about himself.
Yeah.
Even if he's like really good at something, like.
But I think it goes back
he
to.
doesn't do that.
I think it goes back to what you said earlier, though. It's just like you feel good about where you're at, but you're not content. So you're never gonna like feel like you have it all right now because like you just feel like you don't. Now, but don't minimize your accomplishments because you have accomplished a lot for where you're at right now. But I understand why you like wouldn't be out here popping your shit because you just don't feel like you're at like your like pinnacle yet.
Like, I guess I don't know. I guess I don't necessarily see myself the way other people see me, if that makes sense.
A lot of people
I don't know why. I just don't like.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I'm tripping. Maybe I should pop some more shit, but you know.
All right, let's calm it down. Moving on. Okay, back to your hobbies because I really like as a partner, I get a lot of joy out of you doing things that bring you joy. So I just like when you talk about it because it just makes me happy. So you're painting, obviously. Y'all can't see obviously because we're sitting right here, but like there's like Devin's paintings are all over the house. So it's just like a really like nice hobby of his. So like how did you even get into painting? Like when did you kind of start doing that? Why?
Well, I started getting into art for real like in high school. I didn't take like these advanced art classes, bro. I could never draw. I was never really a good painter. Like art just never really was my thing. Like, but they say art is subjective. But if you had to look at a piece that I made, like, you wouldn't call that art. I'm sorry, not then. But my skills have gotten way better. But I don't know. Like, I got into it maybe like my 11th grade year, like junior year for real. Started like getting into art, and then I just enjoy painting because it's relaxing. Like that's something that I could sit in silence, like in a quiet space and do, or I can have music on and do it. Like whatever motivation I need, I'm able to kind of like turn that on or trigger that or put myself in an environment to where I can create a certain type of piece that I want to make. Yeah. So yeah, painting is relaxing. It's fun.
Yeah.
Started painting and then I kind of would just do it for myself, you know, and just kind of keep it to myself. And then I got the idea of selling paintings. I don't know that confidence, honestly.
Yeah.
That confidence I told you about, I got like in college, like it just from there it just boosted like all my other characteristics and like personality. It just boosted that.
Yeah.
So now like I can make a piece and just being like, yeah, like I know for a fact that I could sell this somewhere.
Somebody would pay for this, yeah.
Which brings me to my point of I sold a painting in the Carolina Place Mall.
He sure did, yeah.
Yeah, the House Collective.
So proud of you.
I had 2 pieces in there, and I sold. It was a Skeeter Valentine painting I did.
It was really good.
The character Skeeter. So that sold. So that let me know, like, okay, yeah, like my art is good enough to where I can sell it.
Yeah.
So
that's dope.
I haven't been able to like really do pieces like more pieces that I would like to. But, I got some like in store that I think I could really sell, but I don't think I want to give some of these up though.
I know. The one that used to be behind me, like with all the different color blocks and stuff in it, that's my favorite one. It's so good.
That one was fun to make too. Like,
I don't like, and what's weird is like, you're not sitting there drawing something. It's just your brain understands like what colors look good together and stuff like that, which is like a skill. Like, I don't know if I could put something like that together. So that's really cool. But, so another channel that you like to express yourself through obviously is music. So how did you get into that? I know you really like underground artists, and there's other artists that you kind of like not imitate, but that are like an influence on you. So like, who are those people? How did you get into music? Does it kind of do the same thing that painting does with you, or what?
Honestly, with music, I'm just a fan of music, first of all.
Yeah.
Like different genres and stuff, different sounds. Being able to put like different sounds together and different type of styles of hip hop or rap or whatever, R&B together. Like being able to do that, I don't know. Just the idea of music it's enjoyable.
Yeah.
It's just fun. As far as doing music, I first started doing music with some friends back home. Shout out to the homie Chris and Rascal and my boy Andy, rest in peace. To my boy Juwan. We lost him some years back, but like we kind of had like that was the first like collective I was a part of. It was called Peep. I think we dropped one like collaborative like tape that's like in lost archives now. Like I don't think that will ever reach the surface again because it crashed on the computer. Yeah. Like some years ago, so that never really got released. But just being able to, and everybody had like their own style within the group, which was like kind of fun to me. Considering that one of my favorite groups is like Wu-Tang Clan too. So being able to like click up with friends and stuff and make music, like I don't know, that's just fun to me. So yeah, we were going all the way to Hartwell, Georgia to go do that with J Few. Shout out to Jordan Few for letting us in his studio. After that, clicked up with Jason. With Jason and me and Jason we would do like little singles here and there. And I recorded my first album with him. That's on SoundCloud if you can find that. Like that's not on any other platform. That's where exclusive. I started at, was on SoundCloud. That's Mimosa Music Volume 1. Whew. Yep. I knew Seth from school. We used to skate together and stuff like that. And so then, like later on, finding out that he made beats, he produced like 3 to 4 songs on that album. So yeah, that was my first like piece of music, putting out like a full like complete album or whatever or tape was with Jason and Seth. So it kind of started with them two. Yeah. Seth would always kind of like send me beats here and there. I would always like go and hang out with Jason and record at his house and stuff. So I've been on a lot of his projects. He's been on a lot of mine. It's an honorary. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like if I'm recording at your house, bro, like, so, and we just kind of always meshed. So like that led up until now. Yeah. You know what I mean? Me and Jason, it's just like, bro, like we're really dope with this music thing. Like, yeah. No, y'all are really talented. And with it, like, it gives me a chance to make music that I want to listen to. Like, yeah. Because it didn't help that I already wasn't really into, like, the mainstream stuff. So, like, don't get me wrong. Like, I was a fan of, like, Lil Wayne and, like, Jeezy and people like that. Like, I listened to the music, like, radio music and stuff, like, growing up and stuff. But, like, as I got older and started, like, diving into, like, different genres of music and different styles of hip-hop and, like, artists that I just thought were cool, they weren't known. And then, like, it eats me up, and I know you feel this, too, because I know you felt that way with, like, Frank Ocean and a bunch of other guys. But, like, when other people there was a time where, like, these artists I was listening to were not even known. Nobody knew who they were. I was getting laughed at because people were asking me, what am I listening to? And I would tell them. And it's just like, who is that? He's a nobody, yada, yada, yada. Yeah. 3 years go by and they become like super fans, and it's just like, bro, what? Like I've been like, I've been trying to put people
You
on.
feel like protective over them, yeah.
And then like, and I know it's not really true, but it makes me feel like I'm the one that put artists on.
Yeah.
I know that's not true, but it feels that way.
I know.
Because it's like, for instance, like with Larry June. Like, bro, I had really been rocking with Larry June the past like maybe 4 or 5 years. And now he's getting like a lot of like
100%.
He's being seen and getting a lot of publicity and stuff now, but it's just like, bro, like I've been on for real.
For years.
I've really been on for real.
Yeah.
Like it was a lot of artists like that. Joey Badass when he was with Pro Era, like that whole collective. Odd Future with Tyler and them, like just knowing like how that group came together and like the different personalities in there, because they were like individual artists within that group. Frank was a part of them. Casey Veggies was another. But like these are guys that you will like. It's really hard to find bodies of work from them. It's out there, but if you ain't tapped into like the underground scene, then you're just not gonna know.
Right.
And I like it that way because it's all independent too.
Yeah.
So they don't really have to rely on like labels or anything like that. So
yeah, I feel you. I have some hot seat questions. So these are the ones that don't think too hard about it. Just answer and we'll move on to the next one. Okay. It's just a few. Okay. Do you feel like we got engaged at the right time, or would you have done it earlier or later? Did you feel pressured to do it at the time that you did it?
Did I feel pressured? No. I don't know. I think I did it at a good time. I felt really good about doing it. So, yeah. Like I had pretty much already made my mind up. So.
Okay. So transparently, when we started dating, and I think you mentioned this, that in your last relationship, the dynamic was kind of like she was okay with maybe not getting married and things like that. Mm-hmm. Marriage felt kind of like titles and stuff like that. So transparently, when you came into this relationship with that kind of mindset, I was like, no, yeah, I want to get married. But you were very open to the idea of not ever having to get married and just having like a lifelong partner type thing and not going the legal route. What made you kind of shift that into now? Obviously, we're getting married. Mm-hmm. So what kind of shifted that in you a little bit to be more open to like the traditional marriage route?
Well, just to clear the air, I wasn't against like a traditional.
No.
Thing, but like, to be honest, I still feel that way.
Yeah.
Like just because like I don't know, like I have my own opinions about marriage. Like it's not a bad thing. I'm not saying that at all. Like obviously, I'm getting married, but like I'm open to getting married too. Like it was never a thing where I was like against it or whatever. But I do understand that, some like you can have that type of bond with somebody where you know that like you're in love with each other or whatever, and that's good enough. Like you don't need the title of being a wife or a husband to be with this person for a long time or the rest of your life, whatever. Like I believe that.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, I still feel that way, but I mean, obviously you were looking to get married or whatever like that. I'm not against it. So get married. Like, I mean, I'm cool with that. Like,
okay.
Yeah.
I'm just curious. Do you feel like we're best friends?
Yeah, for real. Just because, like, by default, we spend like a lot of time with each other, and I can kind of see, like, spending a lot of time with each other is like a best friend trait.
Yeah.
I think like when you think of best friend is somebody that you spend like a lot of your downtime with and stuff like that. Which hence, I spend a lot of my downtime with her. So, yeah, I consider that we're best friends. I feel like you're somebody who knows me like very well, like pretty much down to the T. That I don't think anybody else really does. So, yeah, that's valid. I'll say that.
Okay. Hey, bestie. Okay, last one. Do you truly enjoy podcasting, or do you? Well, okay, this is last of the hot seat questions. I still have a couple more. Do you truly enjoy podcasting, or do you feel like you're supporting a hobby of mine?
Do I enjoy podcasting? Yeah. I guess you could add it to like my bag of hobbies. I mean, it's something that I do. Now, do I always feel like podcasting? Absolutely not. Some days I just don't. Like, I just don't be in the mood for it. Don't be in the mood to talk about it. Just don't. And it's not that I don't like it.
Yeah.
Or I don't like the content that we put out or anything. Or I don't think it's fun. It's not that at all. It's just like, I don't know. Like, I would much rather be kind of like doing something that like, I don't know, like playing soccer or something, like playing ball, like you know, saying like painting or something. I don't know, of course, but I mean that's anybody though. Of course, you would want to do like one of your hobbies instead of like a collaborative hobby if that's something that you know you're not really into at the moment. You know what I mean?
Makes sense.
But yeah, I enjoy it. It's a little bit of both. I do feel like I'm supporting like a hobby of yours too because I think you have a love for the podcast like a bit more than I do. I think so.
Yeah.
And this isn't how I don't like y'all.
No.
I don't want them to cancel me. But nah, like it's not that. It's just like I can just kind of tell like this is her shit for real. Like she really enjoys this. Like I feel like if I decided not to do this anymore, I feel like she would still podcast and still do it. So
100%.
But yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right, you're off the hot seat. Just wanted to. Okay, back to the kinship thing with your friends, because to me that is just such an interesting, like, factoid about you. Because I am the exact opposite. I still have like a couple friends from like elementary / middle school, but like overall, the group of girls that are like tight-knit friends with me are not the girls that I grew up with. A lot of them I met within the past like maybe like 4 years. Right. So or more than that, because Eneida I knew longer. But what, like, y'all have such a loyalty and deep bond with each other, and I know a lot of it has to do with like growing up with each other, but I feel like it's deeper than that, because I also grew up with certain girls, but we've drifted apart. Like there are girls that were my besties in middle school, and I don't even talk to any of them now. So like, what is it that y'all are so like, it's like y'all are kin for real. Like y'all are very glued to each other no matter where life takes y'all. So like, what is it? Like, how do y'all have such deep of a friendship? Have y'all maintained that?
I'll say a lot of spending a lot of time with each other.
Yeah.
I'll say that, and allowing each other to be in each other's like vulnerable space.
Okay, elaborate.
You know what I mean? Like, we've pretty much all seen each other at our absolute lowest. Like, nothing, zilch, nada. Like, you know, don't have anything. You know what I mean? Like, we've all, if we haven't all been there together, we've seen at least the other, you know, somebody else within the circle like go through it, and you know, we try our best to you know, be there for each other and help each other out through those like tough times and stuff. But like a bond like that, man, it's scary to even talk about for real, just because like it really is like almost like soul bonding. And like if they were here, they'll tell you like it's almost like cult behavior. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you, it really is. But like, we just live and die behind each other. Like, the decisions that we make, like, it's do or die, like, you know, behind each other. Like, no one man is above the rest of us. You know what I mean? Like, we're all equal. We treat each other equally. It's been a lot of times where, you know, all we had was each other. You know what I mean? So, like in middle school, you know, Nate and Greg would walk to my house. We were walking from our middle school to my house, and literally like just kind of like hanging out at my house all day. So I'm in the kitchen, like both of my parents are gone, but we just got out of school. we're 6th, 7th grade. Like, walk to my house, bro. I'm making fried bologna and egg sandwiches for everybody. Like, and we watching Batman or something, or like watching some movie, like that. Like, just like little like bonds and stuff like that. Like doing stuff like that after school, and then going into like, dating like with girls and stuff, like our situations, and then like fights and stuff with other people, and like even with like each other, it strengthened the bond that we have, because it's just like, in like if you hear the way that we talk to each other, like it's very distasteful. Mm-hmm. I'll be honest. It is like we talk like cold cash shit to each other all the time, but that's what really uproots our relationship, is because like you're not gonna take that to heart, because I love you more than talk to you like that or try to belittle you as a man. I would never do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's that toughness and that roughness that we got with each other. And yeah, like it's almost like soul bonding, bro. Like you said, like it's almost like we're kin for real. Like,
yeah.
And that's
what it feels like.
That's how we treat each other. Being
around y'all. Yeah.
Because just being in so many situations, and then being, like I said before, being there for each other. Like it's been hundreds of times where I could tell you where a lot of us didn't have a dime in our pocket.
Yeah.
And somebody within the circle, Eric or somebody, was feeding all of us. Like it's at one point.
Yeah.
It was a lot of stuff like that, like driving each other to like doctor's appointments, mm-hmm. or picking each other from hospitals and stuff like that. Like sitting in, we had a situation where a buddy of ours, I think, I can't remember what necessarily happened, but like he had kind of went into like this state, like I think he had like really banged his head really hard, and he like low key like kind of forgot some of his motor skills and like some of his memory. So we literally spent like days and nights, like weeks in the hospital with this kid. Like,
yeah,
skip school, whatever, like call out of work, whatever, whatever was necessary.
Yeah.
To make sure that, he was straight and he was in good care and good hands. Like,
Yeah.
So a lot of trials, a lot of tribulation stuff is what, built us to have that bond, I think.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I love that. Alrighty, we are gonna have to be wrapping it up. We have probably less than 10 minutes. So I have 2 more questions. And then we're gonna close it down. So let's try and get it done.
All right.
Okay. So obviously we've talked about wanting to be parents, yada yada yada. Mm-hmm. Besides it just feeling like the next like life progression thing for you, what does it actually mean for you to be a dad? Like what, I don't want to ask like, why do you want to be a dad? But like what, I guess it is that type of question. Like what is the desire for you to be a parent and be a dad? Like what does that mean to you? That's a really deep question, but like
I think it plays a big I think it plays a big part of my identity, honestly. And the only reason why I say that is because like I've always had like deep rooted connections with kids.
Yeah,
I mean, that
you're very paternal.
Yeah, with all the, all the little cousins that I got. Like our family's huge, so from the little cousins, and then like help raising like nephews and stuff like that. Like being able to spend that much time around a child, like and even Keelan was born in 2006. I was changing diapers in the 6th grade.
Yeah.
Like dressing him, you know what I mean? Like like making him breakfast and stuff like that when he got like 1 or 2 years old, and he stayed with us and stuff. So like that kind of gave me my first hands-on experience of like what it'll be like. And though I was young, I didn't look at it like that, but I felt like a subconscious part of me was just kind of like really like deep rooted in that time though. So what I mean by it plays a big part of my identity is because I feel like I'm already moving into that headspace and that like protection type thing. You know what I mean? Like the maturity I feel like is there.
Yeah.
Like that's something that I really look forward to. And not that it will define me, but I feel like of all my titles that I'll have, like being a dad will probably be my favorite title.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
yeah.
Yeah, I'm just ready for that, because you hear all the time from your parents and stuff like, oh, when you get a kid, you'll see what I mean, like stuff like that. So it's like, I'm trying to fuck around and find out. Like, honestly, yeah, like, well, I want to have my kids so I can see what you was talking about, like, cause, and not thinking of it as like a challenge or anything, but it's just like being able to
stop. That's funny.
Like, raise a human, like you get to put like. You know what I'm saying? Like, you get
just
to instill
like looking at it and be
like,
I made that. Like, I was a part of making that.
Exactly.
And like, you're your own little person because of like things that we're instilling in you and stuff like that.
Exactly. Like, I wonder would my parenting style suffice in this time or whatever. Sure. Or would it be like, not quote unquote better than my parents' like parenting style, but like,
just different.
Could I raise like an upstanding citizen of like the society? Like, am I capable of doing that?
We will.
Yeah, like of
Don't worry,
being like an all right guy, like, or all right girl, like, you know what I mean?
That's funny. Alrighty, last question. Just a quick overall arching umbrella. You don't have to go too crazy on it, but just what is your hope for the future? Whether it's your future, like what do you want to see a few years down the line? What is your hope?
Like Bent Road Fresh say, new whips on the way, new cars on the way. Nah, I'm joking.
Oh man, I knew that was gonna happen.
That's lame.
Yeah, I told you we were running out of time. Our camera just died. If you're on YouTube, you're probably just looking at a video. But this is the last question, so we're closing down anyway. We're gonna get the camera situation figured out, y'all. I really do think this time it was just because we went over time. Probably. I knew that was gonna happen. But it's okay. This is a good interview. Go ahead and answer the question, then we'll close it down.
Where are we again? That threw me off.
The new, like your hope for the future.
The hope for the future. Successful, not only in the workspace, but also in our relationship as well. Still maintaining my health.
That's a great hope.
Yeah.
We want you around.
Being in a good space, mentally and spiritually too.
100%.
Like I definitely just want to be like back to my. I'm not saying that I'm not myself, but at the peak of like myself, or like my higher self. You know what I mean? Like that's really what I'm striving to get to. COVID
Devin was a different Devin.
It was,
and
bro, like,
it was a different Eneida too. Like I always wish we could go back to that time. Like. Yeah. And it was our like honeymoon stage, so of course it was good, but also just like where we were at mentally, which is just so like
bro.
It's contradictory because the world was literally in shambles and
spiraling out of control.
Yeah, and we were literally like probably mentally and spiritually at our strongest. Like my mental health was great. Yeah,
during the COVID era, like we was out here. Like, we did so much. Like
I think it just really forced us to like not rely so much on like going out and being around people. Like
life.
Yeah, exactly. Like it was just a lot of appreciating what we had, appreciating each other, like getting really creative with like how to, do things for fun and stuff like that. Like I want to get back to that. I don't want to say it was naive, but like we were just more creative during that time, like, and it made us happy. I mean, I would give anything to go back to that time, and I think we can. I think just we're in a hard season right now to where we're having to buckle down, work, make money, pay for a wedding. Like it's not the most ideal situation, but I mean, we'll get back to that.
Yeah, I think we will
point. Yeah. But I love that. Okay. Well, let me go ahead and close it down because obviously our camera has died and we are just running off the audio right now. But thank y'all for joining us. Please let me know if y'all like this kind of content. Obviously we're gonna do my interview too, just so we can like balance out the interviews. If y'all don't like the interviews, let us know though, because we won't do them after this.
I want to give a disclaimer. I really hope that I didn't come off too boring to y'all.
Oh,
and the only reason why I say that is because I'm entering a very stoic era of my life.
Babe, you're not boring.
No, I wasn't not boring, but like
I think
I have very stoic demeanor. And I know that. It's something I'm trying to change, but I'm not trying to change too much because it's a reason why I'm stepping into the era.
I think you did great. I don't think you should be self-conscious about the way you answer things or what you answered. You did good. You did good.
If you say so.
Alrighty, guys. So yes, please let us know if the interviewing thing is like kind of not your style for podcasting. I just thought it'd be something cool to like switch up the whole let's do a topic and break it down, because that's what we always do. But yeah, let us know if you enjoy it. Let us know if you don't enjoy it. All feedback is welcome. If you watch us on YouTube, obviously subscribe to the channel. Again, we will try and do better with the video to where it's not shutting down.
Right.
And then if you listen audio, make sure you follow us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. So thank y'all for joining us. As always, love y'all and see y'all next Wednesday.
All right, y'all. Be safe.
Bye.